Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Just before I hop into what I wanted to talk about today, I just wanted to say that I'm going to be painting some easy beginner level watercolor hearts since it's Valentine's Day this week. And yeah, I'm actually not super into Valentine's Day, but I think it's really relaxing to paint hearts. So yeah, I thought it was a fun time. So if anyone wants to join along, or if you want to pick up where you left off on a painting or a drawing, please do. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alicia and I'm a self-taught artist, pretty much learning watercolor based on YouTube and just trying things out, and Skillshare classes. And I had actually stopped painting and drawing for many, many years before I picked it back up. Just while I was in school, there just really wasn't enough time. And yeah, I picked art back up a couple of years ago. But more so since last year after I finished up with school. And I used to sketch portraits mostly before, but last year I also decided to learn how to watercolor. So that's kind of been my primary focus since then. It's funny because I was always someone that was more than happy to sketch only using pencils, and that was it. I wasn't really interested in a new type of medium or anything colorful or anything like that. I just thought I'd be like one of those people that just sketches with pencils and that's it. But yeah, I don't know. A couple of years ago, I started seeing more and more watercolor and I got very, very drawn to it, and mostly kind of the loose and abstract watercolor paintings for the most part. And I really loved landscapes especially, or anything that had to do with nature, plants or animals, or even architecture. So I picked up a watercolor brush 2 years ago, and I thought it was going to be pretty easy, which is super naive, I'm aware. Yeah, and I didn't think I was going to be an expert by any means when I started, but I really didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was. And I remember that first painting because what I ended up creating and painting ended up being a muddy mess of a landscape. Like genuinely, it's just a big blob of brown on the paper, and that was pretty much it. So I was actually pretty let down right away, and I was pretty embarrassed because it really didn't turn out at all like I thought. So yeah, I put the brush down and I actually didn't pick it up again for a couple of months. I was that embarrassed by how badly I did. So yeah, the next time that I decided to watercolor, I definitely went in with a different mindset, realizing that it was more difficult. Still hadn't watched like a single watercolor tutorial or a class or anything. And I actually did make something that I kind of liked. It wasn't anything crazy at all. It was just a couple of trees, and that was it. And it wasn't really what I was going for, but it did give me some hope that I could get to a place where I could paint something that I would like eventually. And yeah, since then it's been almost 2 years, and I can honestly say I've seen a large improvement. Just because, especially a lot of last year, I was able to practice a lot more since I finished school. But yeah, that being said, I'm not where I thought I would be when I started a couple of years ago. I don't know why I thought in my head that it was, after being a year in, oh yeah, you're going to be great, like fantastic after a year, which really isn't the case. Or, after 2, I thought by a certain point, you'd end up being kind of like, I guess not the best that you'd ever be because you can always improve, but I thought like you would reach a threshold of almost, okay, now I'm a good artist, if that makes sense. But yeah, definitely not the case for me. And that's the thing where as now I'm like, technically since I picked up the watercolor brush for the first time, I'm, I guess, 2 years in more or less. And I still feel like I'm a beginner. Like I don't know if it's watercolor specifically, just like the techniques that I really wasn't picking up as easily, or I also had a huge mental block where I couldn't figure out what I wanted to paint. And I still do a lot of the time. It's getting better. it is getting better. But yeah, a lot of the time I feel that kind of urge to paint and I really want to make something, but I just can't figure out what I want to do. And so it just turns into me staring at a piece of paper, very frustrated, and then I end up doing like swatches or something like that because I genuinely can't think of anything to make. And it's also really hard being a beginner, seeing, because I have my Instagram, my art Instagram, where I see kind of everyone else's art, and you know, you can't help but compare. So many people they make such beautiful paintings and drawings, and especially at the beginning that was definitely a bit hard because obviously you look at all of that and you think, how are they doing that and how am I not? Yeah, and people that, you know, some people have been painting and drawing kind of nonstop since they were younger, or they're just naturally very gifted at it. But then more and more I was seeing other people on social media talking about how it genuinely is just practice. Like you got to practice anything, kind of that's the same thing. If you start a new medium, it's going to start the cycle all over again. You have to pick up the kind of beginner techniques, and then more, I guess, expert techniques. Yeah, and so it's just going to be that cycle where you're just learning a new medium, but it's the same thing where it's just practice. You genuinely just have to practice. And so I just have to keep reminding myself of that sometimes. Like I said, feel a bit better about it now, but yeah, I struggled with that a little bit more. So yeah, I hope that any beginner artist out there, or someone that just, I don't know, if you've been thinking about picking up watercolor, or if you have and it hasn't turned out the way that you wanted, just know it does. I promise you it gets better. It does. It's hard right now and it'll keep being hard, but it does. You will get to a place where you actually like what you're making, you know? So yeah, if you're a beginner, let me know in the comments even if you're not a beginner, feel free. Let me know in the comments about kind of your journey. What medium are you using? Have you just started? How are you a few years in? Are you like an expert, a master in whatever medium that you're using? I'd really like to know, or, you know, comment about anything that you're painting or drawing right now during this. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video and for coming along with me to watch some watercolor hearts. Like I said, they're very beginner level and very easy to make and just cute and very relaxing. Nothing super intricate to have to come up with to paint or anything like that. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and yeah, I hope all of you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on my next video. Okay, bye.